and welcome back to another Artifact Corner. Today we will be looking at a letter from Henry Livingston Webb to our Frances Henrietta Delord in August of 1832. He was writing to her to let her know that he was sending up a portrait artist to paint her picture. You can see that this letter was sealed using sealing wax and does not contain a stamp. There is an ink stamp on the front of it that says paid though, so we do know the postage was paid and the letter was delivered. It is addressed to Miss Frances H Delord, care of William Swetland Esq, Plattsburgh, Clinton County. There is no state or zip code in this address, so that had us thinking, when did including the state become necessary, and when were zip codes invented? Also, when were stamps first introduced? Let's learn a bit more about the history of the United States Postal Service. Here is a quote from the National Archives Foundation. Richard Fairbanks Tavern in Boston is considered the first American post office, established in 1639. While a tavern may seem like an odd setting, informal sites like inns and such collected and distributed mail in pre-revolutionary America. As colonial tensions mounted with the British, the sharing of information became all the more critical. By 1775, the Second Continental Congress recognized the importance of postal services and established a formal post office, appointing Benjamin Franklin the first Postmaster General. Having been a postmaster in Philadelphia, Franklin significantly improved the system by establishing a more structured network for deliveries, even creating the first system of rates based on weight and distance. In 1792, the Postal Service Act was passed, which formalized a uniform rate for postage. The first postage stamps were issued in July of 1847, and it was for two stamps, a 5-cent stamp depicting Ben Franklin and a 10-cent stamp depicting George Washington. Prior to that, patrons would have to bring their packages to the office, have it weighed, and then pay for the shipping. Throughout the 19th century, different means were used to deliver mail: horse-drawn carriages, trains, boats, etc. One of the most famous was the Pony Express, which only operated for 18 months from 1860 to 1861. Their riders covered nearly 2,000 miles in 10 days. Up to 1863, all mail was held at the post office, and you had to collect your mail yourself. In many communities, the post office would post lists of letters waiting for residents in the local newspaper. In 1863, mail carriers began making their rounds delivering mail. This was initially just for cities, but by 1891, a movement began thanks to Postmaster General John Wanamaker for rural free delivery. That became permanent in 1902. The first zip codes, or postal codes, started to be used in large cities during World War II, and was only 2 numbers. In 1963, the National Zone Improvement Plan was launched and meant every postal address had to have a 5-digit zip code. This letter is a wonderful piece of our family's history, but also an interesting glimpse into an institution everyone in America depends on so much. It's in very good condition given its 194 years of age. It is a beautiful piece, and we are so lucky to have it in our collections. Thanks so much for stopping by.